What's up, guys? Welcome back to Haulin Bass TV. Thank you guys for tuning in, and today we have a lucky tackle box review just for you guys. We're doing the unboxing. I got it a couple days ago. This is actually the March of 2020 box. Should be a lot of springtime stuff in it. Let's get into it. First thing I see when we open it is a lucky tackle box sticker. I always love stickers. A card with what's in the box, along with just a little bit about what they're doing this month. And they do the Lucky Monthly magazine. And I'm pretty sure in here somewhere, let's see, right there is your boy himself with his PB. Look at that. Make sure you guys, if you guys get this, or get the Lucky Tackle Box and the magazine, make sure that you take a shot or a picture of it and send it to me over on Instagram. All right, let's get into this. All right, the first thing I see in here is 10-inch Hogzillas by Mismo. See what we got here. These things are massive. It's got a nice little paddle tail on it, and this looks like Junebug is the color. It doesn't actually say on here. Pretty stretchy. They seem pretty durable. They have a nice little paddle tail on it. Look at that right there. A little bit of action there for you in the water. All right, let's go to the next thing. The next thing we got in here is Lunker Lures Lunker Shad, the 4-inch version in sucker color. Those are really nice because in the springtime, you guys know that the actual craws are very active around 50 to 55 degrees, and that's very similar to what this pattern is. I'll certainly be throwing that this spring. Next thing we got in here is Bass Bros Ghost Shad color, and it's a 65 millimeter 15 gram crankbait. It doesn't say how deep it runs, but it looks maybe between about 4 to 6 feet, maybe a little bit deeper than that. I like that color because in the spring the shad start spawning also, and that's a really good time to use those. We got some Mustad hooks. Certainly can upgrade a couple of these hooks, I'm pretty sure, on a couple of these crankbaits with these. They're the KVD grip trebles. They look like the EWGs. They bend back in. Those are really good for lipless cranks. I do know that. The next thing we got in here is by Teaser, T-E-A-S-E-R, Tackle. Looks like a little guppy almost. Let's see. It's called the Harasser. It's a unique 100% soft plastic lure with a balanced head, long tail, and it's just something that the bass has never seen or felt before, which I could agree with that. Certainly an interesting thing. I'll certainly have to try to catch a fish on it and make a video of it. That certainly looks like something that pretty hard to catch fish on. It might be actually pretty good because it's got that top hook of throwing in beds. That'd actually be a pretty good bed fishing lure.
That's fertile.
Next thing we got for you is California Classic Bait Company, the Curvy Worm. Let's get this out and look at it a little bit. See how I do like the plastic that they put in here. It keeps the baits pretty informed so they don't get mashed up when they're actually in the packaging and shipping. I actually kind of like this. These are neon green. They have a little bit of a paddle tail on it almost, and it's kind of weird. It's got a lot of different shapes in it. It's not uniform like most worms are. That would certainly work pretty good on a drop shot. there's not a whole lot else that I would use this for. Maybe bed fishing, but I normally try to use a little bit bigger baits for bed fishing. I do know that. Let's get this back in the package. Maybe. Let's try. I'm trying it for it.
Try again.
All right. Oh, well, looks like that's for bait fish, or for drop shotting, because they even have a bait holder size 4 drop shot hook in here for you. So that's paired up pretty well with those. That works out well. Next thing we got is Producto. I know that they send a lot of this stuff out. The Ripple 8-inch black grape color. Yeah, black grape. Looks like an 8-inch worm. I know that a lot of their stuff is really soft, which isn't the most durable, but fish do tend to like a little bit softer material when they are eating it. It's just a little 8-inch curly tail worm. Certainly something good to fish on a shaky head this time of year. Alright, get these put away, try not to smash it. There we go. And we also have a bait ball spinner rig. I know we got one of these in last month's box, but these look like they have the silver underneath, and the other ones look like they just had the pearl. These things I really like during the shad spawn, because when you're throwing it during the shad spawn and all the shad are busting up, this certainly brings something that looks different. When you have so much shad, you need to stand out from the actual shad. So I'm certainly, if I ever see bait busting on top of the water, I'm going to tie this on and certainly throw this. The next thing we got in here is a jerk bait. Knockout Bait Company. It looks very similar to a minnow, but it's got a little bit of a purple luminescence down at the bottom and a little bit of gold on the actual gill plate. Looks like pretty good hooks, and it's got rattles in it. That's certainly something good when you're fishing a jerkbait and not the clearest water per se, but a little bit of a stained water. Alright, the next thing we got is Rippin' Lips. This almost looks like a wake bait. Let's see here. Perfect for targeting fish near the surface. Rippin' Lips Wobbler Crankbait is made to wake across the top. Yep. So this actually kind of looks, it's a shad color, and it's classy shad. It's called the Wobbler. And that'll be really good once the shad start spawning, start spawning when they're busting. That'll be another good lure to throw for that. Next thing we got in here is an upside down frog, also by California Classic Bait Company. Let's see if I can get this. It's called the Delta Frog. It's a very soft lure, and they actually have this actually set up pretty good actually, because I actually like to trim my tail, one tail, just a little bit shorter. It seems to help it walk a little bit better. And if you notice, they're just a touch shorter, which is about all I trim it to. And it's got a white belly, a little bit of weight in the back, so it'll sit back in the water, and that'll help it walk. And it's real soft, so when the bass come up and eat it, they're going to get them barbs almost instantly. The tails are trimmed a little bit shorter, and I also trim those quite a bit shorter. And that's about how long, because you know, most frogs, those tails are massive. And so I always trim those a little bit shorter. Decent pattern. I actually really like that. Looks like a good frog. All right, let's set that aside. On to the next thing. Holy crap. We got a BB Rattler. Let's see what this is. Extreme glow back. So on the back side, this glows in the dark.
Corona.
Excuse me. Loud Pyrex rattle. Certainly has that. Needlepoint treble hooks and hologram fish with ID. This is made in a Dominican. It's ice hole tackle. So I believe this looks like an ice fishing rig. This thing's pretty heavy. It's a 3/4 ounce jig. Actually, I would certainly something to think about. I would certainly use it in real deep water, especially in the summer when you're jigging for fish way out deep. It's something pretty good to use to get down there pretty quick. All right, let's put that back. Next thing we got is a Down Home Lures popper in the Gilly Perch, the Uncle Popper. The pattern on it looks pretty good. Certainly the red bottom. It's got a perch pattern on it. Looks like it has decent hooks on it, not the best hooks. Split rings look pretty good though. Looks pretty, certainly got rattles in it. Another good thing to use in the spring once the actual topwater bite comes back. Alright. The last thing in this box, we got, looks like Venom or Phenom lures. Looks like something else to put on that drop shot. Something else you could drop shot. Again, with the plastic, I do like that they put those in there. And it looks like a centipede. If you look at it pretty close, it's got all those little tiny legs on there. See that? And the top is gray, almost a see-through gray. The bottom's got that blue and the sparkle in it. It's pretty nice. All right, guys. So that's the Lucky Tackle Box for March of 2020. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you head on over to Instagram. Give me a follow at Haulin Bass TV. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for me. It helps out so very much. Thank you so much. And also, if you like the content, give us a thumbs up. And if you like our hats and you want one, leave down in your comments your Instagram handle, and I'll be sure to get on over to you, and I'll get you a hat. Just let me know if you guys want one. I'll promise I'll get one out to you guys. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Spartan!